Buying a house is one of the biggest investments you'll make in your life. If you're in the process of buying a house, you'll want to understand what a contingency is and how it can affect your purchase. So, what is a contingency? In the context of buying a house, a contingency is a condition that must be met for the sale of the house to move forward. It's essentially a safeguard for the buyer from unforeseen circumstances or issues that may arise during the buying process. In this video, we'll take a closer look at 3 common contingencies: financing, home inspection, and appraisal contingencies, and how they can protect the buyer and affect the buying process. Financing contingency. A financing contingency is a clause in a real estate contract that states that the sale of the house is contingent on the buyer obtaining financing. This is an important clause for buyers obtaining a mortgage to purchase the house. It allows the buyer to back out of the contract without penalty if they are unable to secure a loan. This could happen due to several reasons, such as a change in the buyer's credit score, rising interest rates, or the lender deciding that the property does not meet their underwriting guidelines. The financing contingency also typically includes a specific time frame in which the buyer is required to obtain financing, usually 30 to 60 days after the contract is signed. Home inspection contingency. A home inspection contingency is a clause that allows the buyer to have a professional inspector examine the property before closing. The contract will state that the sale of the house is contingent on the buyer being satisfied with the results of the inspection. This means that if the inspection reveals any major issues with the house, such as structural problems, electrical or plumbing issues, or pest infestations, the buyer can request that the seller make repairs or reduce the agreed purchase price in lieu of the repair, or can back out of the contract without penalty. The home inspection contingency also typically includes a specific time frame in which the buyer must conclude the inspection, usually 10 to 15 days after the contract is signed. Appraisal contingency. An appraisal contingency is a clause that states that the sale of the house is contingent on the appraised value of the property being at least as high as the purchase price. This is important because it ensures the lender that the agreed house price represents its true value and the buyer is not overpaying for the property. If the appraisal comes in lower than the purchase price, the buyer has the option to renegotiate the price with the seller, pay the difference at closing, or to back out of the contract without penalty. Appraisal contingency also includes a specific time frame in which the appraisal must be done, usually within 30 to 45 days after the contract is signed. It's important to note that while these are common contingencies, there can be variations or additional contingencies depending on the property or the location. Additionally, the buyer and the seller may negotiate on the specifics of the contingencies, such as the time frame, who will pay for the inspection or appraisal, or how any repairs will be handled. So it's important for buyers to understand the contingencies included in their contract and to work with their real estate agent or attorney to ensure that they are fully protected. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel for more real estate tips and insights.